Hey guys, this is Joe, again coming at you with another Hellish Quart demo tutorial. Today we're going to be taking a look at Barabasz and Jacek's fighting style. They both share the same style as of the time of this recording. And I just wanted to give you some tips and tricks and just some different moves you can use, some things to think about. Now, first off, last time we took a look at Gideon and some of his tips for his fighting style. And the main difference between this style and Gideon's style are going to be your fluidity of your lefts and your rights, and also your combos. So if you don't remember from last time when we were taking a look at Gideon, Gideon can do what's called cross art form, and it's really fluid attacks from the lefts and the rights like this. Now, with Barabasz and Jacek, you don't get that fluid movement. If I try to do the same thing with them, this is what happens. It's a much more rigid, slow, wound-up attack. Now, this doesn't mean that the style is worse at combos. In fact, it's pretty much even, whereas Gideon gets a lot of synergy with his lefts and his rights and makes his own combos that way. This style can actually make use of the combos in the pause menu. Gideon cannot use these listed combos. These are specific to Barabasz and Jacek at this time. Now, further on in the game's development, Kobold may add scripted combos for Gideon and, of course, all the other styles that are going to be added. But for now, these combos only work with Jacek and Barabasz. Now, before we get into these, I'm just going to go through your basic movements with this character and what the different attacks look like. So you're going to have your X, which is your top left attack, your Y, which is your top right attack, your A, which is your bottom left attack, and your B, which is your bottom left attack. Now, like I said, you can't chain these together like Gideon can with his. Like this. But now that we know the buttons, we can go into the menu and look at the different combos. So just going to pick a random combo here. Let's go with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the sixth one from the top, which is going to be forward, Y, X, and B, and see what that looks like. So it's going to be a really fluid attack, starting with your top right cut, going into a top left, and finishing with a lower right cut, which is good for getting around guards and juking at your opponent. Because if it's going fast enough, even though the blocking system's automatic, you can cheat the blocking system by getting close enough to where it can't react fast enough. So let me just try this on Gideon here. So he managed to defend it. But let me try this again. Oh, I got past his guard that time. Let me go ahead and put on the damage indicators so you can see how much damage that'll do. Again, same combo. Your forward, Y, X, B. Try to get past his guard here. It does about 32 damage on the left forearm if you catch him on the undercut. Let's take a look at a different combo. Let's go with, let's see here. Let's try the one right above that, the Raz Dwa Raz combo, which is going to be forward YX again, but we're going to finish with Y. So we're going to start on the top right attack, go to a left, and finish on your top right attack. So it's going to look like this. So let's see if we can't land that attack on Gideon here. No, not quite. Oh. Got him. So, if you learn these combos and chain them together effectively with the movement blocking and also feinting system, you can get around your opponent's guard pretty effectively. There's more effective ways to stab with this style than there were with Gideon's cross art. So if you put out the long guard, which you can achieve by holding down the left trigger, and move forward, and let's just hit X, you'll do that thrust. And if you hold down your long guard again and move forward and hit Y, you do a different thrust, a more straightforward thrust. Now with this animation set and the way the weight and force system works in this game, these thrusts do a lot more damage than Gideon's on average, because it's a much more uniform inline movement. So when that point makes contact, there's more resistance. And the resistance translates to, you know, the force, and the more force means more damage on the thrust. Now, with the long guard, if you hit X, it's going to do the same, you know, sneak attack movement that Gideon also does. That's the same across the board for all the characters in this game so far. So, going off of the stabs, a cool move you can do with this style is going to be kind of a backstep parry evade to a counter thrust. So what's going to happen is, let me put this in slow motion so you can see better. If you move backwards with this style and hit X, it'll do that kind of flick rotating wrist cut. And that can be good for catching your opponent's arm if they attack towards you. But if you do it out of measure so that it hits only the sword, you can quickly press left trigger to put out your long guard and X and forward at the same time. And what you'll do is this. So you'll swat your opponent's blade aside and then follow up with a quick, powerful thrust. Now, you might be thinking, that sounds kind of like a single tempo defense, and kinda, not really. The main difference is you're using two different moves to accomplish this. Aha. So, you see I followed up with that thrust. It didn't quite connect, but I can actually try this with the long guard forward Y thrust instead. So let's see how that works. Haha, there we go. So as you saw, I stepped back, used the back X move to parry his attack, and followed up with a long guard forward Y thrust, and it caught him. So your combos aren't limited just to what's in this menu, although the combos in this menu offer very fluid and reliable combos. Speaking of the combos, one tip, when I was trying the combos out, it was a little awkward. I couldn't quite get them to work. It would look something like this. It's like really slow and rigid. Alright, so one of the easiest ways to get the combos to work is you'll tap the first button, but once that move executes, you'll hold down the next button, and then once that move executes, you'll hold down the next button if there is one. So if I do the Bigo Sawak, the sixth one from the top, I'm going to push forward and tap Y and hold down X and then hold down B. So I'm going to tap Y, hold down X, and hold down B. And it ends up being fluid like that. But if I don't do that, it comes out kind of like this. It's a little slower. And that time I didn't even get the B to come out. But if you hold them down, it just works out a lot easier, and the combos end up being more fluid, effective, and fast. So, last thing I want to talk about is going to be the single tempo defenses that I've found most effective and easy to perform for this style. So let me go ahead and put this in slow motion. The first one that I've found the easiest to do, it's actually kind of two, but you do them pretty much the same way. So you're going to walk to your left and hit X. And you'll see he puts his blade in front of him and then follows through with a top left overcut. And what that's going to do is it's going to catch most right hand attacks and then follow up with the strike. Ha! There it goes. So, not hard to do, really easy. You just see him throw the cut and then, you know, just step to your left and hit X. Now, the opposite of that, you can step to your right and hit Y, which will also do a single tempo defense. So, a lot of options with this. And that one's really effective for blocking cuts from the left side. So let me go ahead and put this in slow motion, and I'll show you. So I'm going to throw a left cut with Gideon and do the, oop, didn't mean to do that. And step to my right and hit Y for the single tempo defense. As you can see, I deflected the attack and followed through with an attack of my own. It did not connect, but that's because I was out of measure. So let me try to do this one more time. Ha, there we go. Really fast attack. Unless you're out of measure or your angle's wrong, it should land almost every time. So definitely be throwing those in along with your combos with this style, and you'll go far. The last single tempo defense that I want to talk about is going to be this one here. You're going to double tap, and you're going to double tap strafe to your left like this, and you're going to hit X. Now, if you remember in my video on Gideon, he can also do this double strafe to his left and hit X, but when he does it, it does a really exaggerated sidestep and a cut like this, which is really great for getting around your opponent's guard. The same move with Barabasz and Jacek style does it a little different. Instead of just doing an exaggerated sidestep and cutting, you actually bring your blade up in front of you in a parry motion, and then you sidestep and you cut. So like this. Let me put this in slow motion. Like that. So you'll bring your blade up, which will block a number of attacks, and then sidestep and attack. Alright, so like that. So we parried his attack, sidestepped to our left, and struck him in the arm. Well, alright, that's pretty much all there is to go over with this style that I can think of right now anyway. So let me go ahead and just load up a demo game with a CPU opponent to just show you what it's like to use the things that I went over in an actual match. So I'm going to be Barabasz, and just for the sake of continuity, let's fight Gideon on aggressive AI. Alright, we're going to start out with some combos here. Oh, well, I tried. Let me go ahead and turn on the damage annotations just so you can see. Let's try that same combo again. Oh, and he was not having any of that. Let's try to make use of that backstep parry to the thrust. Oh, it did defend against him, but I did not land the thrust. Aha! I was able to do the backstep parry and then connect with his hand. Let me try that move again. Oh, didn't quite land the parry there. It's a much more involved style because you're having to remember all these different moves and tools that are in your at your disposal. And I keep missing the long guard thrust is my main problem. But I will land it again just so I can show you. Well, I didn't catch his blade with the parry, but I did do the thrust. There we go. A very effective move, just to backstep out of his measure and then get back in measure with a thrust. It's a really safe way to go. So let me try to do some single tempo defenses. You'll notice he's on his right side, which means I should probably step to my left. Well, now he's on his left, so I'm going to step to my right and throw my Y. Oh, almost. Got him. So you want to throw the opposite cut that he's going to do. So if he's going to cut from the right, you're going to do your single tempo to the left. And if he's cutting from the left, you want to do it to the right. So I'm going to do my single tempo defense to the left because he's cutting from his right. Oh, and he caught me with the shove and it stunned me. Let me just try these single tempo defenses a little more. Got him. So again, not hard to perform those. I'll try to do the double strafe to the left just to show you. Ooh, he caught me good there. And he defended against it and shoved me. Let's try to use some more combos. And caught him with the YXY one. Let's try to go for a leg swipe. So we're going to dash in and dash out and then go for the leg. Ooh, he did not have any of that. As always, the leg strikes are always more risky. But I will land one, I swear. Oh, got it. Not a kill, though, unfortunately. But he did get me. Oh, that's a... that's an interesting bug there. He's won all the matches, but the game's not ending. Well, I guess that's good for me. I get to show you some more stuff. Nice leg strike. I'm going to do a backstep parry to the stab. And I missed the stab. Well, more like I didn't do the input for the stab. I'll load up another demo game really quick just to show you some more stuff. Alright, let's try to put a little more focus on our just single cuts rather than making some fancy combos. Alright, very fast undercuts with this character. The AI is being a little defensive. Rightfully so, because I already have a hit landed on him. Alright, and I strafed to my right and followed up with an undercut. So the speed and the strength of this style's attacks, just the singular attacks, are very effective. So you should definitely throw those in when you're not thinking about combos and your parries and single tempos. Let me just try a few more of the undercuts. Alright, did a nice undercut to his leg. Oh, and he got me with a shove. You should always use your shoves because, especially if your opponent's not, you know, they get into a trance with just back and forth, you know, trying to land a certain attack, you can really throw them off with a shove. And if they're not fast enough to back up, it's a free hit, basically. The AI is pretty hard to shove because they pretty much instantly back up when you throw it. but it's useful against human players. Alright. I'm going to try that backstep parry again. There we go. And again, some single tempo defenses. Oh, wrong way. Oh, he caught me on my torso. Nice. Alright, I think I've pretty much shown you everything there is to show, so I'm just going to finish up this game and... Alright, and that's game. So, again, just, recapping. This character is really good with quick, concise single cuts. Has some nice scripted combos and some really easy single tempo defenses, as well as a really useful backstep parry. If there's anything else that you would like me to go over, some specific, strategies maybe, not just characters, just let me know in the comments. Alright, well, y'all have a good one.